Hey everybody, we'll go ahead and get started. It's just after 1 o'clock, and I know we want to make sure we have time to cover everything that we're going to see today. Um, Thanks for joining us. My name is Chris Isbell with Martin Associates, and today we're excited to welcome Velixo from a ISV for Acumatica, a great Excel-based reporting solution that can deliver some custom financial statements, budgeting, additional features like data imports and using inquiries from within there, a great operational analysis tool as well. We have several customers running Velixo and are very happy with it and using it for all kinds of things. So before I introduce our presenter today, just a little bit of housekeeping. We are recording this presentation and we will send the link out to everyone that registered in the next couple of days. If you have any questions, go ahead and use the Zoom chat or Q&A feature to ask those, and likely we'll answer them, either through that interface or towards the end of the demo. So today we are fortunate to have with us our Velixo main contact, Hamza Kadri, and he's going to take everything away from here. So take it away, Hamza.
Thanks for the intro, Chris. Really appreciate it. And thanks again for the opportunity.
Our pleasure.
Welcome, everybody, to today's session. Really appreciate you joining us today. For today's session, we're going to start with a general presentation of Velixo. This way you can get a little bit of a background about the company. It is going to be followed by a live demo of the tool, just for you to get the dynamics behind it, understand how it's built, how it's connected to Acumatica, and so on and so on. We're going to be in for, I would say, about a 15 to 20 minutes presentation. So do not hesitate to input your questions in the chat section, as Chris said while I'm moving along with the presentation. And if there are any questions that we don't answer on the fly, we'll be sure to address them towards the end in the Q&A session. And of course, if it takes a little bit of elaboration or kind of building a little something on the fly to drive the concept home, we'll be more than happy to get in touch with you post-webinar to go ahead and put a customized or personalized session on the calendar. With that being said, let's kick it off. So what is Velixo? Velixo is essentially is essentially an Excel add-in that will serve as a live and bidirectional connector between Acumatica and Excel. So it will allow you to export all the data that lives in Excel, that lives in Acumatica, export it to Excel, kind of perform your magic on it, and once it's done, you can seamlessly push that data back to Acumatica. For the little story, we were founded by Gabriel Michaud, who is an ex-Acumatica leader who saw the opportunity to build Velixo as an Excel add-in because he witnessed that so many users kept going back to Excel for their reporting needs. Fast forward a couple of years, we were awarded the Acumatica #1 application and G2 users most likely to recommend. We now serve thousands of customers globally, thanks to a distributed team, as you can see on the map. We work with over 200 wires, and we, again, serve a little over 2,500 customers. So what problem Velixo does solve essentially? Well, it solves the problem with manual spreadsheets, and it resolves to a few issues. First thing first, it's a completely disconnected experience, and data becomes obsolete the second you export it to Excel. For this reason, it becomes repetitive and time-consuming to produce reports. And on top of that, it's also incredibly error-prone, and governance issues can happen, as it can get challenging to manage document access security for your whole team. And on top of that, any changes made to the data on Excel can only return back to Acumatica by manually entering it, which is highly inefficient. So here's your solution. Our Excel add-in can be installed from your Excel and configured to connect to Acumatica within minutes. It offers real-time reporting with live exploration capabilities in Excel. It is deeply integrated with Acumatica. It allows you to write data back for scenarios like budgeting, forecasting, automation of business processes, journal transactions, does not matter, anything. It's fully self-service, and it won't require much training to master it, thanks to its thanks to its Excel-like functions. And on top of that, it's Excel. So users benefit from the entire Microsoft 365 ecosystem for a better collaboration and automation overall. And yeah, just a little slide of some of our happy customers. As you can see, we're industry agnostic, meaning we can be used in various types of businesses. And nice little fact, KFC right here on the screen was actually our very first customer. I always like to bring it up, never know, we might have some fans in the crowd. With that being said, let's kick off our demo. So as you can see on the screen right now, I've quickly built a little trial balance on the fly. I'll walk you through the process in a minute. First thing we're going to do is go through the installation process. Well, as it's simply an Excel add-in, there's no implementation required. The installation process is very swift and easy. You can add it directly from Excel using the little add-in section right here. So you can click on it, look for Velixo, and then simply press the add button and it's going to be good to go. So again, process is very swift and easy. It looks like adding any other Chrome extension to your browser, for example. Once this is done, you will notice this new Velixo tab on the new Velixo icon on your home screen, as well as this Velixo tab right here on the ribbon. So if I click on it, now you'll see that we've added multiple features to Excel and about 90 Velixo formulas. So I'll walk you through these features in a minute. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is how to get the Velixo going with Acumatica. So directly from your Acumatica login page, you're going to need your URL and your tenant to be specified in your connection manager right here. So I'll click on connection manager and I'm already connected. So I'll simply edit this one to walk you through the process. It is going to prompt me to pick a name for my connection. So always try to keep this one short as you're going to have to reference it in the Velixo formulas. So I'll name it demo, then paste your URL right here and your tenant right here. And when it comes to credentials, you can simply use your Acumatica credentials. And it's built this way because we're automatically going to mirror the exact same level of security that is set up in your ERP. So you don't have to worry about data governance and users seeing data that they're not allowed to see. And connect. Now, in my Acumatica demo instance, I do have multiple tenants. So if I just connected the first one, company, well, you probably see it coming, but I have the ability to go ahead and add a second connection or a third one to go ahead and connect multiple tenants if I ever need to consolidate data between those multiple tenants. Now, let's look at our trial balance. So essentially, to pull this, build this trial balance, I've only used Velixo formulas. So if I click on the little FX button right here, okay, and I use the category dropdown, if I go scroll down the end, you'll notice we've added a whole new section called Velixo NX. If I click on it, this is where all the Velixo formulas live, okay? Now, to pull my chart of accounts, I've simply used expand account range from my demo instance. If you remember, I've named my connection demo. And this little formula, we've simply put it into a button as a shortcut right here called insert chart of accounts. Next, to pull my account names, I've used another Velixo formula, which is again pretty straightforward, called account name. You'll notice again that our functions are Excel-like functions and they're pretty straightforward. When I'm trying to pull the account name, the formula is called account name. When I'm trying to pull the balance, for example, right here, the formula is called account ending balance. Now, all of the reports that you're going to build on Excel using Velixo will always showcase dynamic information. So let's say I go back to Acumatica and I change one of my account names. Let's say this first account right here, Petty Cash, I decide to call it Petty Cash Martin Associates, for example. As soon as I come back to my workbook and I press the refresh button right here, okay, the name change will reflect right away. Now, to pull the balance, I've used account ending balance and I've simply followed my little coach's instruction right here on the little window help. Okay, so I inputted my connection name, I've specified my ledger, account code, and financial period, and there you go. I could have, of course, refined by sub-account, branch, and so on and so on, but just to keep the example short, I've stick to the essential. By the way, if I click on the hyperlink right here, it will redirect me to our knowledge base, where you will find a detailed explanation for every single formula. So syntax, parameters, which one are required, which one are optional, and so on and so on. In this case, as you can see, subaccount and branch were optional, so my formula worked either way. Now, from here, let's say I needed to compare two different ledgers. Well, I can simply copy and paste my formulas to the side and change my parameters. Let's say I want to compare my actual with my budget. There you go. As you can see, my report is updating in real time. Same thing applies for the financial period, of course. And here's the beauty of it. We are still in Excel. So for example, if I want to run a consolidation or simply know the variance, I can use a simple Excel formula, which is this cell minus this one. Now, nice little thing that I want to show you before we move on to the next thing is a way we've came up with for you to group your accounts. So essentially now I'll simply copy and paste formulas in these cells and I'll specify a list of accounts. So I want my account 10-100, my account 10-300, and my account 1100, for example. And there you go. You can also prompt it to the range, not necessarily a list. So from 10-100 up to 1100. There you go. And you can also use what we call wildcard. So let's say you want all of the accounts starting with 11, simply complete the number of digits with question marks. And there you go. You have the option to exclude as well, of course. Now, I'll quickly open this P&L. By the way, I am now on a sample pack that is available free of charge. You can download it on this knowledge base. So on that same website where you're going to find the detailed explanation for every single formula, you can simply click on the Acumatica section. And you're going to find multiple resources in here, such as free templates, how-to guides, videos, and stuff like that. So this P&L, again, is built in a dynamic way. I can use the drop-down list in here to toggle between my branches. As you can see, I am currently on my Western branch. I can, for example, pick a consolidated view, and my report will update in real time. There you go. Now, if I click on the little plus right here to unhide the structure behind this P&L, you'll notice that we've used the listing technique that I showed you right here on line 6. We've used it in this P&L to pull, for example, our revenue. We've simply listed our sales account classes. In here, we've used the wildcard technique essentially to pull our cost of goods sold. And in here, we've simply listed our account classes individually to pull our operating expenses or our OPEXs. Now, what I want to show you here is the drill down functionality. So let's say I want to know what is this number made of, my total expenses. I can simply click on this cell and then click on drill down. And it is going to open a new sheet for me, listing all the transactions involved in that number. So from here, I already have a good picture. I have in the number views, I can check the ending balance, turnover. I can see, for example, to which branch this is assigned, what is the description, and so on and so on. For example, this is a travel expense, okay? If I click on view transactions, it will open Acumatica for me, and I'll quickly log in. And it is opening Acumatica for me on the actual transaction page. So I was seeing earlier that it was a travel expense. Now I can see that it's a night at the Hilton. And from Acumatica, I can, of course, dig even further by clicking on the reference number. I can go ahead and pull the actual invoice for this transaction. If you have any questions so far regarding the financial formulas, drill down functionality, please go ahead and input your questions in the chat. I'll be sure to address your questions right after the presentation. Next piece is the distribution list. Now, let's say you are ready to distribute your reports either internally or externally. You can simply click on New List and it populates this exact template for you. So from this template, you can choose under which format you want to share your reports. Excel. You can choose to remove the Velixo formulas in case you're sharing with somebody that does not have access to Velixo. You can choose to remove all formulas, including Excel ones, or simply share it under a PDF format. File name is self-explanatory. You will simply need to name your file. Tab selection, simply select the tabs or sheets that you would like to include in your distribution, because of course you are not forced to share your whole workbook. Folder path, if you're using a cloud saving solution, simply input the folder path in here and it is going to save it to that space. Email, contact, subject, body, and you're good to go. Let's assume everything is ready. All you need to do now is click or press the distribute all button right here. I currently have it under save to draft, so it will save them under drafts on my Outlook account. And from there, I'll simply need to press the send button. If I want to avoid this little extra step, I can simply tick it under send immediately. Now, we're going to look at how to report on generic increase, and we're going to cover the writebacks. So to report on a generic inquiry, or in other words, what I am going to do right now will work or would translate to reporting on any of the modules that you have in Acumatica, except for the finance module and project module. Finance module, you're going to use the finance formulas. Project, you'll use project formulas. And any other module, you use GI formulas. So for example, if I click on the sales order module, you're going to notice a Velixo button right here on the Acumatica screen. So essentially, this button is a shortcut to the formula I'm going to use right now. If I go, for example, to AP bills, same thing, I have my button, and let's work with AP bills. By the way, if you don't have the Velixo button inside Acumatica, don't worry about it too much. It's very easy, you can get it. You will simply need to download customization packages. Now, back to Excel. So I'll do GI for generic inquiry and connection name and my generic inquiry name. There you go. Now, essentially what it is going to do, it will pull all the columns that live in that generic inquiry in Acumatica. Now, for reporting purposes, you probably don't need all of these columns. And again, this is probably why you're exporting it to Excel, right? So all you need to do, instead of manually deleting the columns that you don't need, because that's the whole purpose of using Velixo, is that you need a report that is going to transform into a template rather than building it from scratch every single time. Well, you can simply prompt it to select which columns you want to pull from Acumatica directly. So I'll pull my vendor column, currency, and let's go for status. There you go. Okay. So essentially, as you've probably noticed, it went ahead and deleted all the columns, then pulled these three. This is a crucial piece because this is what is going to keep the dynamic aspect of the report. Now, of course, I have all my vendors, the transactions under all of the statuses, all currencies. I can filter through this information as well. But again, instead of using the local Excel filtering techniques, I can go for dynamic filtering instead. So I'll do GI again, and you'll notice we have GI filter, GI lookup, and so on and so on. So let's use GI filter. Again, I'll do my connection name, my inquiry name, and I'll specify my criteria. So I want vendor to be equal to whatever is in this cell, and status to be equal to whatever is in this cell. And there you go. Now, going back to my initial formula, you'll notice I left a blank space between the two commas right here. If I click on it, my coach says it's the place to input my filter. And there you go. Now, of course, if you change parameters, it will update in real time. And you can have your vendors in a drop-down list in here and toggle in between them, same thing as we did for the P&L. You can even build a P&L per customer and have a drop-down list to toggle between your customers or projects. It does not matter, it's your call. You can really go as granular as you want. So GI formulas are pretty versatile. They are leveraged in so many different topics, for example, such as using Velixo as a CPQ tool. So essentially, you can build an estimating template, and using the generic writeback functions, you can, the generic inquiry functions, I'm sorry, you can pull all of your items dynamically from Acumatica and build some estimates on Excel. And now, with the writebacks, which we're going to cover in a second, you can push these estimates back to the sales order module in Acumatica and safely or smoothly process your orders from here. So again, this is just one of the use cases. We have people using it for inventory reporting, all different and various types of use cases. So now let's look at the writebacks. And of course, if you have any questions so far, please go ahead and input them in the chat. I'll look at them in about 5 minutes. So there are 4 different types of writebacks. You can write back journal transactions, budgets, project progression, and universal writeback is essentially to write back to any module in Acumatica. Let's look at the first one, journal transactions. So if I click on it, it opens up a template for me, this one right here. So this template is super customizable to match your needs. Let's look at one we've customized for a customer right here. I know the 2 templates look a bit different, so I'll explain. So let's forget about the table now. We'll look at the blue boxes only. So on the blue boxes, you have essential parameters for Velixo to assess where it's writing back to in Acumatica, so to which connection, which branch, which ledger, currency, and so on and so on. And on the example we've customized, here are our blue boxes. They are just outlined in a different manner. Now, if you look at the template again, if we look at the table, you have your branch column, account, sub-account, the project accounting columns right here, and debit and credit. Now, if you look at the one we've customized, here are our journal entries. So branch, account, sub-account, debit, and credit. Now from here, let's assume everything is good to go. I'll quickly just change my GL rate. There you go. I can simply click on perform writeback to push these journal entries back to Acumatica. And I'll click on OK to execute it. As you can see, takes under 10 seconds, and it opens up Acumatica for me on the journal transactions page, prompting me to double check my entries. If everything makes sense, now I can simply remove hold and release. Next one is the budget writeback. Well, it works the exact same way. Here's the template of one that we've customized. If you look at it, it works with the same concept again. It has a little blue box to understand to which branch this is going to be written back to which budget ledger, and so on and so on. And the idea here is that you're going to be able to dynamically pull your prior year actuals from Acumatica. Then you can set up what if scenarios combining Velixo along with Excel formulas to kind of calculate your forecast or your budgets for the upcoming periods. Once this is done, simply perform writeback, and it is going to write back to your budgets pages in Acumatica. So let's recap it. Journal transactions, journal writeback writes back to this page, journal transactions, and budget writeback writes back to this page, budgets. Now, project writeback again works with the same logic. Let's just skip it for now. It is going to be used to write back to the project module. And last piece is the universal writeback. So universal writeback is the feature used, for example, to push back these estimates to the sales order module, for example, okay? If I open a random one, well, actually, this is the example highlighted on the article right here. Perfect. As you can see, I already have all of my items inside my estimate. All of the parameters that you see here on the side are the required parameters up top. And from here, I can simply process the order. So if I click on it, for example, right here, you'll notice it opens up a pane on my right, prompting me to choose an import scenario. So you can import BOMs, customers, vendors, does not matter, literally anything. And if there's any type of data that you're looking to import to Acumatica, but you still don't have an import scenario, well, you can simply create one. I've already done it in a demo in the past for a customer. As you can see, I have import client Hamza right here. It took me a little under 5 minutes to do it. Of course, it was not built properly just for the sake of a demo, but I think you get the idea here. So this is pretty much it for the demo. I want to keep things very short. If there's anything that you would like to see, for example, specific reports such as sales commission reports, inventory reports, any other topic that I kind of did not bring in, please input your idea in the chat and let's go ahead and cover it. So before I stop screen sharing, I'll quickly let you know about the webinar offering. So yeah, make sure you unlock your 15 days of full access. This way you can kind of start getting your feet wet on Velixo, assess if it's something that could be valuable to you. And if you decide to move forward inside your trial period, you can enjoy an exclusive 3-year discount with no commitment required. So essentially, it's 20% off year 1, 15% off year 2, and 10% off year 3. So I'll stop screen sharing and let's quickly look at this chat.
Thank you, Hamza. That was great. That was a lot too. Every time I see you guys and what you can do, I think it gets a little more robust and even better than the last time I saw it.
Yep, indeed. So confirming we're continuously adding new features. By the way, for example, next to the Velixo icon directly from Excel, we're going to see that little help button. If you click on it, of course, you can, for example, submit a support ticket and so on and so on. But you'll also see a little line that says submit an idea. Okay. And I always like to mention it because we do listen to our customers, and a write-back functionality, their universal write-back functionality actually came in as a recommendation from one of our customers.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, if you have any nice ideas, just let us know. Always happy to explore it and see how we can put it into effect.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see. I do have one question that I've gotten
Yep.
from people. I know you showed a lot. Are there like sample reports and
Yep,
uh,
sure.
a
Let
lot
me
of stuff
quickly
we can work with?
show it again. So
Yeah.
I'm going back to screen sharing. So on the knowledge base, okay, if you go to the Acumatica space, by scrolling down, you're gonna have a little template section. If you click on view all, you're gonna have on the demo file the templates that I've just showcased right now, or you can simply click on samples and you're gonna find different templates. Same thing, if you click, for example, on financial templates, you're gonna find other ones, and so on and so on. We also have a learning platform to kind of go ahead and enable you build your own reports at your pace. So it's learning.bidirectionally.com. And on this platform, of course, you're going to have those pre-recorded videos that you can kind of watch as little tutorials. But most importantly, you're going to have 3 or 4 now, because we're updating it, you're going to have 4 live sessions with our head instructor, Harry, on the screen right here. So Harry is a very knowledgeable person. He's got over 30 years of experience working with Excel. But what I really like about him is not only his skill set, but most importantly, his ability to deliver the message. So very strong classes, highly recommend. We cover from the most basic functionalities up to the most advanced ones. And yeah, it will definitely enable you to go ahead and build solid reports like these, for example. I'll quickly open the inventory turnover report. There you go. So yeah, on level 3, for example, you're going to be trained on how to work with generic increase formulas to pull, for example, your sales. As you can see, this is a GI formula up top right here in the formula box. GI combined with GI filter. You're going to be able to use the same technique to pull your sales prices. And you're going to use these 2 sheets again to build your turnover report. So yeah, I'll quickly stop screen sharing. And perfect. Back to you, Chris. If we have any more questions, I suggest we can go ahead and address them. If not, perfectly fine. Let's we can simply wrap it up. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll get back to you on it.
Absolutely. I think we're good right now. Thank you, Hamza, for that great show. Like I said, even when I watch it again, I learned something new, which is great.
Oh,
Um,
well, Chris, you know you're always welcome. If you ever miss one of these demos, just let me know, and I can even hop in on a one-on-one call with you to let you know about the new features. No worries at all.
yeah, thank you. All right, thanks everybody for joining. Hamza, thank you again for wonderful, informative presentation. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to us at Martin Associates, and we'll get you in touch with the people at Velixo. They do a great, wonderful job. They're always a top or the top ISV, winning awards at Acumatica Summit every year. So congrats to them. They make a great product with a great team. So thanks everybody for joining, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.